Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanina Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshini Bhagavati Ashtadashadhyayini Amba Tvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshini. May we be protected, may we be nourished, may we strive with energy and vigor. May our study be enlightening and not give rise to hostility. Om peace, peace, peace. Lead us to truth and not to untruth. Lead us to enlightenment and not ignorance. Lead us to immortality and not death. Let the self-manifest Atman grow in me. Om peace, peace, peace. Om, O Bhagavad Gita, with which Partha was enlightened by the Lord Narayana himself, and which was incorporated in Mahabharata by the ancient sage Vyasa, the Blessed Mother, the destroyer of rebirth, showering down the nectar of Advaita, and consisting of 18 chapters. Upon thee, O Bhagavad Gita, O loving Mother, I meditate. Last time we have taken, or we took, a fundamental question that Arjuna suffered, that was indecisiveness. Not to be able to decide what is good for him. And the same thing happens to us also. And there is another difficulty that Arjuna suffered, which we also suffer. The difficulty is, Arjuna expressed this, Yadva jayema yadiva no jayeyuhu. Whether we will be winning or will be losing. This is the fundamental question, that means question of uncertainty. We do not know what will happen. What will happen today, what will happen tomorrow, whether we'll survive tomorrow or not. This uncertainty is always stares us at our face. And that's why we are afraid. So this uncertainty is also a bondage. Yadva jayema yadiva jayeyu. Yaneva hatvana jijivishama. By killing whom we do not want to even survive, want to live. And they are in front of us. So this happens, many things we do not like and they are in front of you. But without them, it is impossible also. This is a fundamental question that all the time we face. Now this is a bondage. This is a difficulty in front of us all the time. And because of that, we are fraught with fear. We have so many mental agony that we suffer. Arjuna is representative of us. So Arjuna represents us. And he points out what is the problem. We have problem, but we don't have those wordings. We have some ideas, but we do not have the power of expression. So this is a challenging task that was put in front of Sri Krishna. But he is Trikalagnya, knower of all three time. And not only that, he is the creator, preserver, and destroyer. He is the director, or in his direction, in his presence, everything happens. So he will give us a solution which is very important and very decisive. So here he will not give us some pill. In a pill hill, we have pill hill. So no pill, no miraculous power to come out of it. But it's hard earned resource that we have to attain it. And therefore, those are to be stated. What are the things? How can we get rid of this difficulty? We have difficulties, but how to get rid of it? And when we understand the difficulty and how to get out of it, then comes the challenge. And it is us to follow it. Now question comes, is it possible? Whatever Sri Krishna is going to enumerate, 35 qualities. Is it possible? It looks like if we follow all these things, we will become a stone. But not really. We have examples. And examples are plenty. Not only in one country, but in others also. Only thing where these are discussed, the possibility becomes greater. See, in America, science is discussed. So they progress. So many scientists. And they also encourage, say, going to moon, so exploring the space. So we find institutions came up, and then so many people also got interested. And some exhibitions are put in front of children, so they are inspired. Similarly, in India we find, because it is discussed, because it is thoroughly discussed in public, therefore chances are there, and so many great ones were born there. And this is a science, therefore the chances will be more where this is discussed. So generally these qualities that we are going to discuss, it's not ordinary. It is to be inculcated in one's life. So with this introduction, let us go ahead. What Sri Krishna is going to tell us. And these are not new. Many things he has already stated. But emphasis is new. And before that he said, do this. If you cannot do this, then do this. Sarva karma, athaitadapyashaktoshi mat karma paramo bhavo. If you cannot do this, then make all your efforts centering into me. So all this he has said, and we have discussed thoroughly. Now what are the qualities that we will go ahead with? So adveshta. Dvesha means envy. Adveshta sarva bhutana, free from hatred or malevolence. So adveshta, why we do this? Because we find somebody else in front of us. Who can be really adveshta? What is that person? The person who is steeped in the self, and he knows the whole world is one. Avivaktam cha vibhakteshu. Though it is divided, it looks like divided. But actually it is the same truth behind all. Next chapter we'll read that. Kshetragyam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. So all are like this. These are little fields. Kshetra. Kshetra and kshetragya, knower of the field. Kshetra means field. We have 1 acre of land, 2 acres of land, or like that. So this also we are kshetra. But behind this, it is the same knower of the field. So a person who is steeped in this knowledge, he only can hate none. He cannot be malicious to anyone. So why? Because Arjuna wanted to know who is the greatest devotee of God. So Bhagavan said, okay, I'll tell you. Now be a devotee. What is that? Adveshta sarvabhutanam. Adveshta means who is not hating anyone. Sarvabhutanam. So even if, you see, like this, if nothing is happening, we are not hating anyone. But as soon as somebody insults us, then we are malicious to him, or say an envious enemy to him. So Advishta Sarvabhutana. Maitraha. Maitra means friendliness. Friendliness and karuna evacha, compassionate. So not only we do not hate, rather we are friendly. And we are compassionate. But what happens? If something happens, then all the teachings go astray. Is it possible? More things are there. Nirmama, nirahankara. Not to be possessing things. Mamata shunya. Mamata shunya means this is mine. I am nija. This is mine. Paroveti. All other things are others. So these are small-minded people. I am nija paraveti gananam laghu chetasam. Udar charitanantu vasudhaiva kutumbakam. Those whose mind is wide or who is enlightened, for them the whole world is one. A family. Udar charitanantu vasudhaiva kutumbakam. The whole world is his own family. This is easier said than done. If something happens, then we forget this. So nirmama, ahankar varjita, that means who is free from the idea of mindness. Nirahankar, egolessness. And sama dukkha sukha kshami. For him, sorrow and enjoyment is same, and he is forgiving. Now we can see the example. Example is Sri Ramakrishna, Buddha, Holy Mother, Swamiji. So these are the examples, and not only these, there are so many saints where we find these are manifested qualities in their lives. So this is, let us go one by one. Nirahankara. So nirmama, that means mamatva varjita. That means this is mine and other things are others. One can think if we have this is mine and other things are also mine, so that possessiveness should not be there. And nirahankara, then what will happen if we do not have, say, this idea of, say, like this is Vedanta center, and anybody can come, say like homeless person can come and sit there, then what will happen? So the thing is, what we can think that this belongs to God and we are trustees. Whatever property that you have, you are only trustee. You are acting on behalf of God. So therefore, it is given to you that you have to protect also. So these are very delicate qualities. Nirahankar, sama dukkha sukha kshami. Now, santushtaha satatam yogi. Yogi means the yatanashila, who is striving, who is trying to perform. So first let us have the total translation. He who hates no creature and is friendly and compassionate towards all, who is free from feeling of I and mine. As Sri Ramakrishna says, that I and mine is because of ego, but everything belongs to God. This is knowledge. So that we have to practice in our life. Even-minded in pain and pleasure. So not that when something pleasurable comes and then we are elated, we start jumping. Rather, we have to keep equanimity. So even-minded in pain and pleasure and forbearing. Many situations will arise in our lives where we can lose our head. There we have to keep calm, and we have to understand, we have to try to inculcate what is good, what is that I should follow. So, even-minded in pain and pleasure, forbearing, ever contained, steady in meditation. So, nirmama, nirahankara, samadukha, santushta, satatam yogi, yatatma. Yatatma means yatanashila, who is trying all the time to attain that state which is the highest. And Dridhanishchaya, who has taken a resolve and who follows that with that resolve. Mayi arpita mano buddhi, whose mind is given to me. Mayi arpita mano buddhi, self-controlled and possessed of firm conviction with mind and intellect. See, when firm conviction comes, when we have no doubt. And doubts come when we are not certain about it, what will happen. But if we know this whole world is mine, whole world is the manifestation of God, then we have nothing to lose. Like sometimes we are afraid of losing a little money. But if we think that money will go to others' pocket, that's also mine. So this is, this way we can find the solution. So, with mind and intellect fixed on me, he who is thus devoted to me is dear to me. All these qualities are possible when a man or a lady thinks that this whole world is one. If there is a slightest of separation, then this cannot be practiced. So that's why the Jnana Yogis will tell that this is also possible for Jnanis. Why say like Abhaya? Abhayam sarva bhutebhyo. Why? Because matta sarva pravartate. Because everything comes from me from God. Everything is manifested through Him, in and through Him. Therefore, nothing is alien. And sama dukkhe sukhe, so when it is sorrow and um, happiness are, are equal to someone. So what happens when one is bereft of attachment and aversion? That happens when it belongs to one. See, like we are not attached to ourselves or we are not averse to ourselves. So this is the sign and symptoms of a jnani and a devotee also, because these two are not different. We find these qualities are manifested in devotees also. And therefore here Sri Krishna underlines this. Now we go to the next. Let us read it again. He who hates no creature and is friendly and compassionate towards all, who is free from the feelings of I and mine, even-minded in pain and pleasure, forbearing, ever content, steady in meditation, self-controlled and possessed of firm conviction, with mind and intellect fixed on me, he who is thus devoted to me is dear to me. And these are not words only, but these are practiced by saints, and there are so many examples of it. So we go to the next. Yes. Yes, please. Yeah. So the original is Mayarpita Manobuddhi. So mind, what is the function of mind? Mind has dual function. It holds something, then leaves something. So what happens, say, I have to go to shop and we have to buy something. And then I have to go to another place to attend a function. And then I have to go somewhere. So all this is the function of mind. Sankalpa, Vikalpa. It holds something and leaves that. So Sankalpa Vikalpatmak Mana. Mayarpitam, that means who has dedicated his mind to me, means God. And Buddhi is Nishchayatmika, who decides, no, I have to do this. Like this is, whether this is a book or pen. So mind will say, maybe it is a book or maybe it's something else, who knows. So mind has flickering attitude, unsettled. But intellect is decisive that this is a book and nothing but book. So these are two functions. So whose mind is also centered in me, and also whose intellect is also centered in me. So Mayi Arpita. Arpita means who has dedicated his mind and also his intellect to me. So that is Mayi Arpita Manobuddhi. Very good. Mayi Arpita Manobuddhir yo madbhakta same priya. The thing is, when our mind and intellect can be dedicated to God, when we see no difference between one thing and another. So, Mayarpita Manobuddhi Madbhakta. Madbhakta means who is totally devoted to me. Same Priya. He is my very dear. His Priya. He is dear to me. Now we go to the next. And another point comes, Priyo hi jnanino ityartham aham sacha mama priya. So jnani, here he indicates who is the knower of self. So he is my very dear. Priyo hi jnaninaha ityartham aham sacha mama priya. And not only he is my dear, he and me is dear to him also. So this is two ways. It is not that it's one way, ekangi. Ekangi means there are three ways. One is ekangi bhakti. So it's one way traffic. But when it is both ways, then that is samartha. And when a devotee does not want his gain or his joy, he is satisfied with God's joy. Whatever happens to me, that is fine, but God should be he should be given all preference. I should not say joy, because God is full of joy. So that is the highest kind of devotee. So one is called samanjasa. Samanjasa means both ways. Traffic is both ways. I am also happy and God is also happy. But samartha means that I don't care about me. God should be happy. There is a story. Once Narad asked God, "Dear God, tell me, who is very dear to you in this whole world?" So he thought he will tell, "Oh Narada, you are my best devotee." So he said, Narada, I'll answer your question, but first I have a terrible headache. But I need some dust of my devotees, dust from the feet of my devotees. So, can you bring? Yes, sir. But mind about it. He should be very dear to me. The devotee should be very dear to me. Yes, I'll find out. So he tried many places. But when they heard that God wants dust of the feet and he will put on his head, oh my God, how can I give my dust of my feet to use by God? So he could not find anywhere. Ultimately he went to Braja. Braja means Vrindavan. And he told Gopikas, God is suffering from headache. He wants dust of feet of his devotees. Then immediately he said, take as much as you want, our dust of our feet. So he ultimately took and went to Vaikuntha and said, "Yes, sir, I have brought it." "Oh, where did you find?" "Oh, it was available in the Braja only, in Vrindavan. Nobody else was happy to give." So God said, "Now you understand who is my most dear devotee." So who does not bother about his happiness? He is happy with the happiness of God. So Braja, that Gopikas, the cowherd maids, they did not bother about themselves. Rather, they are happy finding God happy. Whatever is happiness for God, they are happy with it. So this is called samartha. Samanjasa means both ways, and samanya. Samanya means ordinary. Whether what happens to you, I am not bothered, but I should be happy. That is ordinary, samanya. And samanjasa means you also be happy, I am also happy. If I am not happy, I am not going with you. So that's the attitude. But samartha means who does not bother about himself or herself. Their only concern is the happiness of God. So this is that small story. So priyo hi jnanino ityartham aham sachamama priya. So there it is both ways, that not only they are dear to me, rather and also I am dear to them. Okay, so we go to the next. Yasmannod vijate loko, lokannod vijate chaya. He by whom the world is not agitated. Udvijita means worrying, means uh, getting disturbed, uh, agitated, afflicted. So, yasmat, he by whom the world is not agitated and who cannot be agitated by the world. We can see Sri Ramakrishna. He is mingling with all devotees with same ease. Even with a child, he would be happy. Even Pandits, he would be happy. So, nobody were afraid of him, not agitated, afflicted by his presence. Rather, they thought that he is my own. Even ladies, they did not hesitate. They did not hesitate. When he was put, when he went to Jan Bajar and stayed with Mathur Babu, so he used to lie with them, with the couple. Unthinkable. And ladies also thought he's one of us. So, examples are aplenty. So, yasmat no dvijate loko, lokat no dvijate chaya. He by whom the world is not agitated. Sometimes if people are so fearful, if he comes and just goes and people are shy and afraid to go in front of him or her. So because of, any harm can fall on him or her, that is why they are afraid of it. But such a person who has no axe to grind, who is only concerned about God and who knows that the whole world is one, only him, nobody is agitated. So this is a person who has cultivated this. And when it is cultivated for long, then only it happens. Harsha, Marsha, Bhayodvegohi. So four statements are there. Harsha means elation. Amarsha means opposite of elation. That means sometimes you are on cloud 9 and sometimes it's the abyss. So in such a person, both are absent. And bhaya means fear. Everything is fraught with fear. There is a shloka by Bhartrihari in Vairagya Shatakam. So it says everything is fraught with fear. Now he enumerates. Bhoge rog bhayam. When at the time of enjoyment, say if someone is eating too much, then all the time he'll be afraid of getting ill. So bhoge rog bhayam. Say similarly, all kinds of bhoga, like if he uses the 5 senses, like nowadays, like internet. So if one does too much, then he'll lose his eyes or her eyes. Similarly, all other avenues, even karmendriyas. If something is used too much, then the reverse happens. That means he suffers because of that. So harsha, amarsha. In a bhaya, bhoge rog bhayam, kule চ্যুতি bhayam. And if one is of high clan, of high class, then all the time he is afraid of losing that. If one is VIP, then all the time he expects himself that everywhere he is welcomed. And a high seat is given, seat of honor. So, kule চ্যুতি bhayam, vitte nirpalat bhayam. If you have money, so previously even kings used to grab the money. And nowadays another kind of grabbing, that's called tax. So, so if you have money, then you are always afraid of losing it. And not only that, even nowadays that hackers, they 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 have various devices by which they can make you pauper. So not only niripata bhayam, but any other people also, like hackers also. One is afraid of hackers. Mane dainya bhayam. If you have honor, then you may, or someone is always afraid of losing that status. Bale ripu bhayam. If you have strength, then like Muhammad Ali. So what happens? Always there to fight, to show the world that he is the greatest. So naturally, all other people would like to defeat him. So always he is afraid of the opponents. Mane dainya bhayam, bale ripu bhayam, rupe jaraya bhayam. And one is good looking, then always he or she is afraid of old age. Like at the time of advanced age, what happens? Wrinkles, etc. So they try to hide it, but it still comes out. Shastre Vadi Bhayam. And if one is a Pandit, then what happens? He's always afraid of the opponents because he's ready to defeat him. Even in the field of science also we see some people give some theories and opponents come and to discard that. So Shastre Vadi Bhayam, Gune Khala Bhayam. If you have some qualities, then what will happen? That some people will find faults. She is always afraid of fault finders. Shastre Vadi Bhayam, Gune Khala Bhayam, Kaye Kritantat Bhayam. And if we have body, like one thing is beauty, one thing is body. We are possessed of this body. So any embodied person is afraid of death. Kritantat bhayam. So ultimately he says, Sarva vastu bhayanvitam bhuvininam. Everything is fraught with fear in this world, O king. Vairagyam eva abhayam. Only renunciation is the one thing which is without fear. In enjoyment, there is fear of disease. In family reputation, there is fear of falling from that reputation. In wealth, there is fear of kings. In prestige, there is fear of humiliation. In power, there is fear of enemy or adversary. In beauty, there is fear of old age. In scriptural erudition, there is fear of learned opponents. In virtue, there is fear of wicked, vilifying person. In body, there is fear of death. For human beings, everything is everything in this world is coupled with fear, except vairagya. So this is, vairagya means renunciation. When one is not worried about money or enjoyment, all things what is enumerated here, he is not infatuated with them. He is not infatuated with, say like enjoyment, enjoying senses, and he is not identified with his clan, and he is not identified with his money, not identified with his stature, and who is not like a fighter with some strength. So in all the things, when he takes the idea of renunciation, he is not attached with all these things, then he is not afraid. So this is harsha, marsha, bhaya. Harsha and amarsha and bhaya. Now udvega. Udvega means, udvega is very very difficult when one sees the sees some qualities that is good in his opponents. So mental agony that comes to that person. So in Sanskrit, para utkarsha drishtaha. When one sees somebody is ahead of him, then he is envious. So para utkarsha drishtaha manah santap. So mentally he suffers an agony. That means why he is so. And this is very common in all fields. Somebody was saying that even, say, winner of Nobel Prize, they are also fighting for small thing, like parking. But here, not only that, in all fields, one is envious of other when one sees this, that somebody is ahead of him in scientific field, in literary field. If somebody is popular, oh, he's popular, I'm not that popular. So this mental agony is called santa, that udbeg. Udbeg means mental agony. So he who is free from such mental propensities, he is my dear. Sachami priya. He by whom the world is not agitated and who cannot be agitated by the world, who is free from joy, envy, fear, and anxiety, he is dear to me. And all these qualities we find in Sri Ramakrishna. All these qualities we find in Holy Mother, Swami Vivekananda, Buddha, Jesus. They are not afraid of anyone. They are not envious of anyone. So these are the examples. That means it can be done. Now we go to the next. Anapeksha shuchir daksha, udashina gata vyatha. Anapeksha, he does not compare himself with someone else. That means he does not expect anything from others. Here it is, anapeksha means who is free from dependence. See, like we expect, our siblings or our progeny, son and daughter, they will support us. So that is apeksha. Apeksha means we expect something from someone. But if someone does not expect anything, that is anapeksha. He is independent. What happens? We have sticks, and many times we lean on it, and we think it will support me. But it fails to support, and then we fall. So one should be self-dependent, anapeksha, and not expect anything, not even a smile from anyone. Anapeksha, shuchi. Shuchi means who is clean. Not only physically clean, but one should be clean mentally also. We have physically cleanliness, but mental, all the kinds of junk that we are carrying on our shoulder. So mental cleanliness and also physical cleanliness, both are important. And also speech, cleanliness in speech. Kayena manasa vacha. Bodily, mind, and also speech. If someone is clean in mind and also in his bodily clean, but he speaks very ill of others, so that is also not good. So shuchi, he is clean in all aspects. Daksha, daksha means he is able, he is very apt, prompt, and he is very efficient. Efficient is the right word. Daksha. Daksha means whatever situation comes, immediately he can solve it. Sometimes people they are fighting with some problem. They cannot find the answer. But on the other hand, if someone is there who can see the cause and immediately he can rectify and solve that. So that is called daksha. Anapeksha shuchir daksha. Udasina. Udasina means he is not affected by anything. Udasina here, the meaning is, Udasina means unconcerned. No, it's like, apparently that is the meaning of the word, but one is compassionate. Only thing he is not concerned about his own convenience. So he does not bother about himself. Rather, he depends on God. Udasina. Gata vyatha. Gata vyatha means untroubled. He is not afraid of the fear or that Udasina. Udasina means he does not take sides also. Like Sri Krishna, when it came to him that Kauravas and Pandavas would approach him and he cannot say no. So what to do? He has to be impartial, number one. But because he is incarnation of God, he should be supporting good people. So he said, okay, there are two things. One is my 18 Akshayani. I mean, lots of fighters, the whole army. And on the other side, me alone. That also without any weapon. And with this promise that even I will not fight, I will not take part in the fight. So in that situation, so it should be equanimous. Both the sides should be satisfied. So when they approached Sri Krishna, he gave them chance. So what he was doing, he was kapat nidra. Kapat nidra is he was feigning as if he is sleeping. And both Arjuna and Yudhishthir came. Arjuna and Duryodhan came. So Duryodhan, because he is a king and he is with that stature, it's not king, prince. His father was king, Dhritarashtra. So there were two seats. Sri Krishna very cleverly put two seats. One to his near the head, another near his feet. So first Duryodhana entered, and he went straight to that seat which is near the head of Sri Krishna. So he was waiting there. And after that Arjuna came. So Arjuna went to near the feet and he started massaging his feet, Sri Krishna's feet. And when Sri Krishna came out of this feigning sleep, so first he saw Arjuna. Oh Arjuna, when did you come like this? Then Duryodhana said, I have come first. Okay. So I'll satisfy both of you. So because Arjuna was younger, so it is good that he should choose first. So he said, in one side, my 18 Akshayani, it's a great number of army, and another side, me, without any weapon, and with this promise that I will not take part in fight. Now you choose. So first, who should choose? Then the chance was given to Arjuna. See how Sri Krishna gives an opportunity to grow, to select right thing. So Arjuna got the chance first. So he said, I want you. I am not bothered about army. Enough. I have great strength. I want you. And Duryodhana, mentally he was happy. But what this man that without any weapon, and also he'll not fight for us? Why? What? He'll be a burden on us. So this way, he was happy. Okay, ठीक है. When he asked you, okay, I'll take 18 Akshani army. So this way, Sri Krishna, how he managed the show, how he managed his stage, as it were. So he's both the sides. He's equanimous. So anapeksha, shuchi, and daksha. Anapeksha, shuchi, udasina. Udasina means he's not taking any side, as it were. Though he's taking the side. That means we have to take side which one is good. We have to support what is good. But udasina here also, he is not affected by it. He does things, karmani akarma darshan. That means when he does something, he is not doing. Karmanya karma yaha pashet, akarmani cha karma yaha, sabuddhiman manusheshu sayukta krishna karma krit. A person who works like we work for a particular goal. But a person who's while working, he knows he's not working. Though everything is happening, Pashan, Grinnan, Ashnan, Gachan, Swapan, Swasan, everything is happening. He's seeing, his eyes are blinking, and he's speaking, but he knows that he's not doing. So this is a lofty state, and Sri Krishna is in that. Though he is working, he is not working. So that is udasina. Udasina gata vyatha. Gata vyatha means untroubled. He is not affected by anything. Sarvarambha parityagi. Renouncing every undertaking. So arambha means beginning. Beginning. Why beginning? We do something, we start something because something is in my head, my aim. So either it is available in this world or hereafter. That is why arambha here means whatever action that we do. And with ulterior motive. And ulterior motive is very important. If someone hires a person to kill another, the person who kills that person will get less punishment than the person who conceived this idea, who has ulterior motive. So sarva arambha parityagi, that means he is not concerned, or he has renounced all kinds of arambha, that means any initiation or any initiative to start a work keeping something, some goal in front of him. So sarvarambha parityagi yo madbhaktaha same priya. He who is my devotee, such a devotee who is not concerned about any support, he's not dependent, who is pure, prompt, unconcerned, untroubled, renouncing every undertaking. He who is thus devoted to me is dear to me. So all these are possible for a devotee, and it is depicted in so many characters. Okay. We'll read this one and then we'll stop. Yo na hrishati na dveshti na shochati na kangshati shubha shubha parityagi bhaktiman yah same priya. He who neither rejoices nor hates, as if he has become a stone. No. Yona hrishati. Dhishan means mentally elation. Adveshti, who is aversion to someone, and mentally he is enemy of that. No. He knows the whole world is his own. Therefore, we are not hating our own thing. Whatever lying in our home, so it's normal. Similarly, when he sees the whole world is one, then he is neither elated nor um, he is desirous of that. He who neither rejoices nor hates, nor grieves nor desires, renouncing good and evil, full of devotion, he is dear to me. So these are the qualities that we have to inculcate. And then comes freedom. What freedom? These are bondage. If we analyze what is bondage, these are bondage. We are buffeted by all these qualities. If we take sides, then we suffer. If whatever enumerated here, if we expect something, then we suffer. If we are unclean, then we suffer. If we take sides, then we suffer. And if we gata vyatha, that means if we are, gata vyatha means untroubled. So if we invite trouble, we take sides, then we suffer. That is the state of bondage. To get rid of this is the way. And that is freedom. What is that freedom? Jivan Mukti. While living, one is free. Is it achievable? Yes, it is achievable. So many people have achieved. And in Gita also Bhagavan said that so many people have achieved this. It's not new. Only thing, these are to be inculcated. These are to be discussed. And then try to translate in our character. So this is the purpose of this study. So we say our prayer. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tatsat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Any question? Yes. Okay. That afraid is not afraid. It's like he was not influenced by that. But that afraid, it's a you can see in actors. In the stage, the demand is there that one should be afraid. But is he mentally afraid? No. That situation demanded that way. Your point is good. But you see, it is mentally how we deal with it. Sri Ramakrishna knew who he was. Holy Mother, and Sri Ramakrishna knew who Holy Mother was. And also, everyone knew. But situation was like that. And Hriday drove her away that day. And mother also, like this is Leela. When in duality, these are the beauty. That, I say like Sri Krishna also, it looks like he took part and he took side of Arjuna. But he knows that he does not do anything. That is why to see a karma non-functioning while performing. Is it possible? It is possible. Karmani akarma yaha pashyet. He who, while performing, he knows that he is not working. Karmanya karma ya pashyat akarmani cha karma. And while not performing, he knows he is doing work. Says many times we don't do, but mentally we, oh, I should have done this, I should have done this, I should have done this. Though I am not doing, but mentally we are stuck there. So Sri Ramakrishna there, he was witness, as it were. You can say this way. He was not mentally afraid. Of course, like in Leela, you have to sometimes be afraid also. Like, Raja Maharaj, Swami Brahmananji was in Balaram Bose's house. And he used to play with children. So, Brahmananji got a hide of a tiger. And he tied down and the children were playing. All of a sudden he appeared there. So some children, they ran away. But another child, he was weeping, but I know you are Maharaj. He was weeping, showing that he is afraid. But he said, I know who you are. You are not tiger, you are Maharaj. You got the point. So in a drama, this is allowed. So child is not afraid, but still he was weeping. How can you explain that? Mentally he was not afraid because he knew he is Maharaj. But appearance is like this, that he had to weep. So a situation happens like that. Apparently, we are afraid, but not really. Yes. That also. Same thing. Yeah. And not only that, that another kind of spleen treatment. 4 people would hold the person, and a banana leaf will be kept near the spleen, and hot charcoal, hot, would put there. So when 4 people came to hold Holy Mother's hands and feet, she said, not to worry, I'll take this. And she took it. So it was a terrible kind of treatment. 4 people will hold the hands and feet. And then banana leaf will be placed where one has to put that here charcoal, and it is hot. Even sometimes they use iron rod, particularly to that place. Holy Mother said not to worry. So she did not take anyone's help. But of course, sometimes she would play like this with children. After giving some sweetmeats to the child, then she would ask, please give me one. It's not really she was asking, it's playing like that. Om Hari. Yes.
In the city of Brahman, in his lotus-shaped home, the child king immortal is therein enthroned. In the city of Brahman, in the heart of our hearts, the child king is waiting to bid us hello. If only you see his face. In the city of Brahman, in his lotus-shaped home, the child king is waiting. He's left all alone. The night becomes day, and slave becomes free, because our king is fearless. Our king is freedom, and you will all know his
ब्रह्मण्यधाय कर्मणि संगम त्यक्त्वा करोति यः लिप्यते न स पापेन पद्मपत्रमिवाम्भसा. Like lotus leaf, the water drops are not stuck. Similarly, when a person steeped in Brahman, while walking or